close grip bench press is often referred to as one of the best tricep building exercises you can do. It's a heavy horizontal press that has massive potential for progression in terms of adding weight and adding reps. It places a massive amount of tension on your triceps due to the increased range of motion from the closer grip, and it forces your elbows to be tucked in a lot more during the press. Both of these things increase the angle of arm bend during the press, which is ideal when you're training your triceps to get a maximal stretch. The chest and shoulders still get a decent amount of work during this exercise. Because it's a compound lift, you can't truly isolate one muscle. But because of these small form tweaks of bringing in your grip a bit closer, it places much more stress on the triceps and forces them to work a lot harder compared to a variation like a regular grip bench press. Personally, I've never really been a big fan of a close grip bench press because I don't feel much tricep activation during the lift. There's no doubt that my triceps are being stimulated during a close grip bench, but I just feel a general overall fatigue in all of my pressing muscles rather than muscles activating and getting pumped. Compared to a variation like a dip, I get much better tricep contractions, deeper stretches, and an overall better pump in my triceps. Now that was until a few months ago when I stumbled across a video from Mike Israetel explaining some form cues when performing a close grip bench press. And in that video, he explained a simple form cue of just bringing the bar higher on your chest. So instead of bringing it to the top of your rib cage, just below your nipple line, you bring it somewhere between your nipple line and your clavicle area. The first time I tried this, the feeling in my triceps was insane. I got a massive stretch in my triceps, like I do with dips, but specifically more just above the elbow position there, near where the medial head of the tricep sits. And after a few sets, I got a massive tricep pump with just this simple form tweak of bringing the bar higher. You see, with a regular close grip bench, the form is almost identical to a standard grip bench press. So you bring the bar down just below your nipple line to the top of your rib cage area. Doing it this way allows you to do a few things. One is it allows you to move a lot more weight. Two, it's a lot easier to keep your shoulders pinned back and to keep your upper back nice and tight. This makes the movement a lot less stressful on your shoulder joints. And three, it allows you to engage your lats when performing the movement. So a common technique cue is known as bending the bar. So if you can imagine, you grip the bar like this and you're trying to twist your thumbs outwards like that. Obviously, you're not going to bend the bar at all, but when you visualize that, it allows you to engage your lats more, it depresses your shoulders down, and overall, it just makes your body a lot more stable and it allows you to move a lot more weight by engaging more of your back, specifically your lats. Now, there's nothing wrong with that form at all. That's traditional bench press form, and if you feel your triceps engaging when performing it that way, then stick with it. But for myself, I feel little to no tricep engagement when performing the lift that way. Now this simple form cue of bringing the bar higher on your chest, it's nothing magical. All it really does is increase the angle of arm bend. So if you can see, instead of bringing the bar to like my upper rib cage, if I bring it slightly higher on my chest, you see how my arm bends a little bit more? Obviously, it doesn't look like much, but when you add weight to that, you can feel a massive difference in the stretch on your triceps. And for general muscle hypertrophy, you want to perform exercises that allow you to get a deep range of motion with a full stretch to get the most bang for your buck out of the lift. So in essence, this little form cue turns the close grip bench into a sort of hybrid between a close grip bench and a JM press or a skull crusher, due to the increased arm angle. But it still remains a basic horizontal press, so you can move a lot more weight compared to a JM press or a skull crusher. Now in terms of performing the close grip bench press in this fashion, there's a few things you want to keep in mind. One is the setup is the exact same for any type of bench press you're doing. So shoulders back and depressed, upper back tight, and you want to bend the bar and squeeze your glutes. Keep your body nice and rigid. Give yourself a good base to press from. And two, there is no correct hand position when performing the lift. Anything that's closer than your standard grip on the bench is considered a close grip bench. So my advice would be to start off with shoulder width and gradually move in over time until you find a position that stimulates your triceps a lot and you feel zero joint pain or discomfort. So you don't need to go all the way in with your hands touching or your thumbs touching. That's an old school bodybuilder myth. Over the long run, that is going to destroy your joints. 3, there is no correct place to bring the bar on your chest. As long as you're in between your nipple line and your clavicle, you're good to go. I know for me, if I bring the bar quite high around the clavicle area, I feel a lot of pain in my wrist and elbow joints. So I stay around the bottom position of my chest, so right above the nipple line about here. But play around with it and see what works for you. In terms of reps, I like to stay between 6 to 10 reps. I don't want to go lower than 6 because my joints are in a more compromised position and I don't really care about raw strength on this lift. I want to get higher volumes of training and hypertrophy my triceps. And I don't go over 10 reps with this lift because when I start going higher in the reps, my shoulders and chest start to take over on the movement. But regardless of that, if you want to go heavier than 6 or higher than 10, do it. It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel works your triceps best, that's what you should do. So that's everything I have to say on the close grip bench. Include this lift along with your other tricep isolation movements and your arms are gonna blow up. There's no doubt about it. Try it out for yourself and see you go from there. Until next time, peace.